Hi everyone. Source please. That's a pretty common response to hearing a claim, right? Should be. Asking for a source is a very good way to challenge a claim. It's part of the process of questioning information. How did you come to know this? That's really how the credibility of an answer is determined. Can you provide me with your method for acquiring this information so that I can test it for myself? If you got it from a source, then you should be able to provide that source so that I can go and get it from the same source. Of course, this is not the end of it. What is the source? What is the quality of the source? Does that source explain where the information came from? Either by presenting a method for finding out, by empirically testing it, or presenting the reasoning behind it, or does it provide sources itself? I mean, very often, you go to Wikipedia, you're not going to find the method presented there. You're going to find other sources. But you can go follow them, and hopefully eventually you'll get to something that presents a method. Okay, so you go back and find the method. Are you actually expected to try it yourself? That's not always possible. You may not have the equipment necessary. You may not have the manpower, the resources, the time. So what do? Well, this is where peer review matters. You get to a peer-reviewed source. What that means is that the method has been presented and other experts in the relevant field have actually looked at it and said, yeah, this checks out. It doesn't necessarily mean that they have tested it for themselves. They usually haven't. But they have... There is some sort of consensus, at least there is a consensus, at least among the reviewers, that the method is so well described that anyone could check. And that is what keeps science believable. The fact that everything can be checked. There is a transparency to it. You don't believe me? Check for yourself. I mean, why would I, if I wanted to present false information, why would I explain how I did it, knowing full well that if someone else actually does this, if someone else actually checks this, follows my method, they'll find that it doesn't lead to the conclusion that I've presented. This transparency is how you can accept the claims found in peer-reviewed journals. The fact that it doesn't say, well, I'm not going to tell you how to do it, you'll have to find that out for yourself, which is very common in pseudoscience circles. I'm not going to do the research for you, you'll have to do it yourself. I mean, why should you believe me if I just tell you? Well, if you tell me, then I'll be able to determine whether it's believable. If you don't tell me, then that's no different from just you making it up. So yeah, citing a source is part of making yourself more credible. I'm telling you how you can confirm what I'm saying. But please understand that just because someone cites a source, that doesn't mean the conversation is over. Check out that source. First of all, a lot of people can present information and attribute that to a source, and it turns out to be a quote mine. It might be a blatant misrepresentation. I mean, we're all familiar with creationists citing papers that they say conclude that evolution is impossible, and it doesn't say that at all. And it turns out that someone just read one sentence in the abstract and took it from there. Check out the source. And if you're not willing to have your sources checked out, don't cite them, because smart people will check. People who are critical of your claim will check. So, yeah, if you don't want to be checked, don't cite sources. And if you don't want to be checked, you're also saying straight out, I'm just making this up. I don't know what's worse, not citing sources or citing sources that are sources that don't say what you actually say they do, or sources that are themselves ridiculous, like Jews are from space, see this video by Jordan. I might as well just have made it up. What people misunderstand about citing sources is very often that, oh, you cited a source, that means you're arguing from a legitimate authority and I should just accept what you're saying. No, that's not the point. The point is transparency. How did you get the information? Can I follow the same method and determine for myself whether the information is accurate or not, whether it's reliable or not? That's the point. That's all for now. See ya.